later.
All right, so I'll call the June Summit Waller Community Association meeting to start at 7:13 p.m. All right, so let's start with we skipped number one. We don't have any guests. Number two, or item number two, which is the approval of the board meeting minutes. So we have a several months worth. We've got February and March meeting minutes that John prepared.
Ah.
Been a
Did I
minute
prepare
since.
February and March? I think I've lost those. That was when my mom died and
Mhm.
all that. So I have to either go watch the recordings um, or search for those. I don't have February or March prepared for anybody at the moment.
Well, let's see here.
So were those live or
Well, meeting minutes. No, let's see if I can't.
January was live.
January's live? Okay.
Yep. So we just have February and March, and then April was also in person. So we would have had, and then I took them in April. So
You took those. Okay.
We
So
have
I need to go watch February and March and make some minutes. Okay. Well, I'll do that before the next meeting. Okay. So
but did you not send those at all then?
I don't think I did. That was when my mom died in February, and then we were going crazy, and Sue's sister died in early February. So yeah, we were upside down, Sue and I. So I don't think I did anything.
I'm just looking at my emails here, unless anyone can find them faster than me.
I usually save those to my documents repository for because I post them on the website anyways. I don't see any of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see January and that was it.
So
Okay.
I need to do February and March. Okay, so
Yes,
I got to go
please.
watch. I got to go watch the videos,
Okay.
and then I'll do those for next month.
Okay.
Okay.
All
So
right.
I will catch up. Yeah, things are a little bit better yeah. So
Okay. Thanks,
yeah,
John.
okay.
Yeah, I would have had hard copies of them. I don't.
Okay.
So that
No,
means they have.
yeah. Well, I know for a fact I didn't do them. So I just couldn't remember which months I needed. But February, March, I'll get those done.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll defer those until next month or when
I
those
don't
are
think
done.
anything I don't think anything extraordinary happened during those 2 months anyway. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, moving on, item 2B, we have April meeting minutes, and I sent those out, I think, last week before. I sent them out on the 20th
Yes, I saw
of
those.
May.
Uh-huh.
So do we have a motion to approve the April 2025 meeting minutes?
I moved to do
I so
so.
moved.
Okay. Larry got that one.
So,
Okay,
Okay,
so Larry and Gabe. Okay, got it.
it's been moved and seconded. Um, any discussion? Okay, then all those in favor of approving the April 2025 meeting minutes and decide
Got it.
indicate by saying aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Aye, okay. Any opposed?
Oh,
Ayes
just
have
Dan. Dan abstains because he wasn't there.
it. I
Of course, he's not
know.
here even to abstain. So
I know. He totally would though. Okay, thank you. Agenda item number 3A was the February, March, April, May treasurers reports, and Russell sent those in and I forwarded those to you all. You late last week, maybe, is that when they
I
came
saw those.
in?
I didn't even look at them, but there's usually no.
um, I looked them over. They look very complete and accurate. And so I so moved to approve the minutes, or excuse me, the financial reports for February, March, April, and May of 2025.
It's been moved.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay, John second. So it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor of approving the February, March, April, and May 2025 treasurer's reports. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. All right. Okay, let's move to new business. And the first item up on the agenda is Waller Road Elementary School. That was requested by Larry. So I'll turn it over to you, Larry.
Oh, just real quick, Angela, there's nothing to report on the website
Yeah.
and, and social media.
Yeah.
Dang it.
That's
Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
okay.
That's okay. But
Sorry.
there's really nothing to report though.
I
No
have
report
noticed,
on social. Okay, I
no, I
got it.
have
I
noticed we
like
have
that.
way fewer scammers trying to join the group recently. It seems like there's a lot less of those.
I don't know. We had
Hmm.
72 declined, 3 blocked, and 15 approved. So
No,
there still
no.
seems to be a lot of them.
Maybe they're just becoming so normal anymore.
I'm getting faster at
Just,
clicking in before you do, maybe.
yeah, maybe. Because I like to go in and if somebody says they're local, I'll go and look on the GIS system to see if their name matches up with something close. And if it does, then I'm like, oh, that's a legit person. And most of the time they're not. So, yeah.
Isn't that weird? Why would you join a group? I don't even understand it.
Lots of reasons I could talk to you about, John,
Oh.
offline. Yeah, there's lots of reasons.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay, now we'll move on to new business, item 4A. Go ahead, Larry.
All right. As you are aware, the Puyallup School District had a double bond failure, uh, what that means is that that puts our Puyallup School District only elementary school in our Summit Waller area in jeopardy of possibly being closed. There'll be a committee that will recommend by January what to do about spinning Waller Road and the one elementary up in Edgewood area. They'll probably recommend that Waller Road be closed. Something that has come up just recently that may affect everything is that the Puyallup School District Board of Directors just decided that it's time to part ways with the superintendent of the sixth largest school district in the state of Washington. And if they haven't already, they'll appoint an interim superintendent. Who knows what direction a new superintendent, but they're going to be concerned in the next several months trying to find a new superintendent for the Puyallup School District, which may have an effect on what goes on with in the next year or two in the way of new bond efforts. I know that there'll be a what used to be called a maintenance and operation levy, which basically is a levy which requires 50% plus one for passage. It's usually for 2 or 3 years, and it asks the taxpayers to renew the levy that was passed 2 or 3 years ago to fund um, uh, programs that are not funded by the state, which would include like band, orchestra, sports programs like football, basketball, the sports that are at schools. That's scheduled to go up for in 2026. I don't know whether the school district would want to try and do both again next year. They could run a bond again next year, but they may not want to run a maintenance and operation levy. They call it something different. I don't know what it's called now, but I just call it the old M&O levy. It also funds technology items too. So they'll have that up in 2026, whether the school board chooses to run both the M&O levy and a bond, an $800 million bond at the same time. Who knows? Also, there'll be board positions up for reelection, I think this fall, one or two positions. But the Summit Water Community Association is going to have to ask themselves, our board is going to have to ask itself, do we want to fight to keep Waller Road School open? And if so, I mean, I'm in favor of that. I'm pretty sure Dan Hare is in favor of that too. I'm hoping that the rest of the board might be looking at that, but it's up to the decision of a majority of the board, whether to just let it go or to fight for it. But I think that we can make it not in their best interests to not close it down. So we need to come up with a strategy in the next few meetings as to how we are going to approach that if we decide that we want to go on a course to save the school. So I think that should be on the agenda for the next few meetings. In the meantime, I think Dan Hare and I have been talking about what are some possible scenarios. I know we need to know how the voters in the Summit Waller area voted on that bond issue.
Can we even find that information out? Is that available?
Yeah, I'm not. We're going to look into that, and I'm also going to suggest to Dan that maybe he and I meet with people at the administration office who were in charge of the levy, to see what they can tell us about the levy, or not the levy, the bond, excuse me. So we'll try and get that information before within the next couple of meetings. I know the administrators like to take July off, so probably not going to get any information from them in the month of July. That's the down month in all school districts.
So how many students do we have at Waller Road?
Yeah, that's a good question. I
mean, is it really
didn't
viable?
have that information. It's about 300 students. And that's why the new school that they were going to build would be only a single-story school with the potential to add on to it. But it's a school that needs to be replaced. It's getting old. It's been added on to
replaced or replace or move the students. That's the big question, right? We can replace the building at a certain cost, or we can move 300 students, 50 here and 50 there, and yeah. So
see, that's a good question, John. That's the problem. The problem is that the schools around us, like Fruitland Elementary, is at capacity. Karshner is at capacity. I think Maplewood might even be at capacity. I mean, most of the schools in the Puyallup School District are approaching, or they're already at capacity.
we're
the
kind
only
of like
school,
aren't we like aren't we like an aging out community? You know, right down here on, you know, it seems I'm not advocating either way. I'm just asking the question. I don't have a dog in the fight. I just, I'm asking.
in talking with a few people, like the superintendent of the Franklin Pierce School District, Goodpaster, the only school in our immediate area that is not at capacity is Central Avenue School, but that's in a different school district.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Waller Road was projected to actually increase in size next year, not by a whole lot, but by, 10 or 15 students. That's half a classroom.
Hmm.
So it would be in our best. I mean, just think about it. A school is one of the main pillars of your community. If it goes bye-bye, like it did in the Riverside area, that was a big hit to the Riverside area. I know because I knew people that were fighting to keep that school open. It hit the Riverside community really hard. And those kids, of course, are now going to Waller Road. I I don't think, and here's another thing to think about. If you were to close Waller Road School, you can expect that you're going to have a community that's been hurt, probably not going to be voting for any levy or bond in the school district from that point on. It's gonna cause some negative backlash in the future. I think the Puyallup School District would be wise not to alienate people from a certain community. I mean, uh, that occurred a little bit in the Edgewood area in the distant past with the Puyallup School District when they closed down an elementary school up there.
Hmm.
So, I mean, just something to think about.
Okay. So no action right at the moment.
No, I'm just kind of laying out what's really going on.
Okay.
Yeah, the bottom line is Waller Road needs to be replaced. There is a threat that it would be closed. The Summit Waller Community Association Board of Directors and the community need to decide whether they're going to try and fight to keep it open, because the committee is more than likely going to recommend that it be closed. But there are some extenuating circumstances with the current superintendent going bye-bye and a new superintendent will take their place. That's going to take up a lot of the board time. All school districts are dealing with a deficit. So, um, they're going to be concerned about that for the next school year. Um, it's possible that they could keep Waller Road School open for another 4 or 5 years until a new school is ready to be occupied. It takes about 2 to 3 years once a bond is passed for a new school to be completed. Franklin Pierce School District was really smart when they replaced their 5 elementaries, Central Avenue included. They built them all on the same design, and they were able to save a bunch of money that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, the schools are beautiful, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the new Waller Road School, being a real small school with only 300 students, I mean, usually, like Central Avenue was built to accommodate over 500 students, and that's what they would like to build to accommodate about that many students normally, but we're in a slow growth area by design, and so a single story school is what we would get, but it would be brand new.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, well, we can keep this as we can move this to the agenda where we're the part of the agenda where we're
Monitoring it. Yeah.
monitoring. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we would have to really respond until this report comes out in January, because that's the timeline for this committee to uh, bring to the school board this report on these 3 schools and other things by January.
Okay. Thanks, Larry.
Mhm.
I just wanted to show for the record, we do have a guest of Councilmember Yambe in attendance. So I just wanted to say thank you for joining and make sure we have that in the record.
course. Always
Thank
happy to
you.
be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
And I do want to apologize. So the other day when I said I'd come out and pick trash, I had an hour free and I ended up, Jen roped me into making peanut butter sandwiches that morning. So I was there making sandwiches and I was like, I should get out to go litter pick. And so, if somebody has the equipment, then I'll just come and make up for it, this coming weekend or something and do an hour early in the morning. So, but I did see everyone out there and but I was at the church making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for an
Oh,
hour.
well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, unless you take it home to your personal trash, there's no, unless you do it right, like, they're going to pick up trash tomorrow, I think. So, uh, uh, we're
We'll
good.
get, we'll
I
get you
think we're
next
good.
time.
Yeah, we'll get you in the fall.
Sounds good.
All right, item 4B is the Pierce County Comprehensive Plan update, and that's Dan asked to have that on the agenda, but he's not here. So, and I don't have any pertinent updates on the plan. So, I don't know if he had a specific topic you want to talk about, so we can table that until next month. Item 4C, the farmhouse, it's Franklin Pierce School District Farm Open House recap. And Larry, did you go to that? And do you want to give us a
I
recap?
did. I would like to remind everybody that's one of our greatest accomplishments in the history of our community association in making it convincing the Franklin Pierce School District to go that direction. Yeah, I was there on Wednesday. I encountered one of our members, Tony Phone. I recognize he was there. Linda Fisher, who was on our board in the past, was our treasurer for a while. She was there.
Nice.
I did run into the superintendent, good pastor, and had a nice conversation with him. Got a good tour. There were quite a few people that were swinging in and out of it. There are two classrooms. They look really nice. The building's nice. It's not quite as big as we originally had envisioned. They were able to. Franklin Pierce School District was able to get 4.7 million from the state to build it. And they were only able to get that money if they did not call it a STEM educational building. So it's called the Farm at Franklin Pierce Schools, the Farm at Franklin Pierce Agriculture Resource Center.
Okay.
And it's got two classrooms. There is classes that kids can take at Franklin Pierce High School, Washington High School, and Gates. Is it their alternative high school? There are two classes from Franklin Pierce, two classes from Washington High School, one class from Gates. The students that come over to the building, and they're there in the morning until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So there are classes that go on there that they can get credit for. There is a summer program where students can sign up to work on the farm during the summer. And I guess from what I gathered, people in the community can actually, I don't know if they rent or make available raised gardens overseen by the conservation district. So they're growing all kinds of stuff there. And the farm manager, her name is Emily Strong. I got to talk with her. And someone else who works there, Ramon. And they're all very motivated, is what I get. What I got the message. They want this place to succeed. and they're working hard to do that. They also have a refrigeration unit where anybody can come to the farm 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's food available. Like there's a bin full of carrots, or there's a bin full of other vegetables that they grow at the farm. I was
Nice.
really impressed, and I wish more of you could have come. I know that we're all very busy, and we either have jobs, or even in retirement like myself, I'm really busy too. But uh, I thought my couple hours there in the afternoon of last Wednesday was worthwhile. And I have to tell you, wherever I go, I always have uh, something on me that indicates that I'm from the Summit Waller Community Association. I mean, it is important that we as board members uh, advertise our community association wherever we go. If we go to a school board meeting or a county meeting, it's very important that we let people know who we are and that we're in the community. And
That's a good point. It's a good point, Larry. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, so I wore my blue shirt with the Summit Waller thing on my back,
Nice.
and yeah,
Did you also wear the name tag? Funny enough, name tags get people's
I
attention
wore a
because not
name
everybody
tag.
has them. Oh, good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wore a name tag.
Yeah, I forget that myself. Yeah, so good point. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, even if you go out and buy one of those "Hello, I'm," stickers, you can just temporarily put on your shirt that and label it Summit Waller, your name and Summit Waller Community Association. Worked great. So that's all I have to say about that. If you want Emily Strong's email address, she didn't give me a phone number. She said the best way to get in touch with her is to email her. Oh yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it.
Well, thanks for the
Oh,
update, Larry.
one last thing. I kept reminding them about Jim Akers Acre, and and there's got to be postage around here. Which acre is dedicated to Jim Akers? So they're working on that again.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, that might be a battle that, yeah, you can fight for a while, but you might lose that one just because of attrition.
Oh no, they're aware of Jim Akers and his contribution to this whole thing.
Okay,
It's just,
okay,
and I think they even have the signage. They just haven't put it up yet.
okay.
Okay. The next item on the agenda, the next two items Sheila had requested, and Sheila is not here. So I'm going to suggest that we table those until next month's meeting when Sheila is here. Which brings us to agenda item number 5. First item under 5 is the Summit Waller Adopter Road. John, you want to give us a quick recap of how last weekend went?
Yeah, actually, it went a little better than I expected. I made some phone calls, um, and I didn't get very many people. Basically, when you make phone calls, you just leave messages. But yeah, so I think I had, well, Larry was there, Angela was there. Um, I think I had maybe a dozen people show up. And the interesting thing is that now that they haven't picked up yet, so the pile has grown enormously.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
I saw a few
So
mattresses
we
there.
might have had 30, 35 bags or something like that, but now we've got a sofa and
Yeah.
tires and whatever else. But that's okay. As long as the county picks it up, I really don't mind that that we
Yeah.
acquire a bunch of stuff. That doesn't really bother me. But it's just interesting when you see this stuff slowly accumulate and stuff. But yeah, so I think, yeah, I was kind of talking to my wife and I said, this has been like 30 years. Maybe it's time for me to retire. I don't know. But I definitely have fall on my agenda. So I'm not retiring quite yet. But
Okay.
yeah, somebody might think about maybe taking the reins. I don't know. Yeah. So there we go. But we had a good event. So yeah, a long story. We had a good event, I think. Yeah. So
Hey, John, how does the garbage pickup work? Does the county do I'm just trying to understand how that works.
well, that's a very good question. So tradition is traditionally what you're supposed to do is have a crew that is, say, from a corporate organization or something like, you know, Apple or somebody. Just and they take the signs and they move the signs along, and they have a crew of 12 people that move along and pick up litter all along, and they keep moving the safety signs and stuff. Um, we have not been able to achieve that kind of organization because we're just a small group. So what we do is we go and twice a year, and we have we assign people. Say you're going to go from 72nd to 84th, for instance, like Larry Boland does and Barb, and we give them 6 or 7, 8 bags of garbage, and they pick those up and they put them back on the front of my property, and then the county picks those up at the end of the weekend. So yeah, we're kind of out of compliance a little bit, but that's basically the way we can make that work. So
Okay. Thanks for helping me understand that. I'm gonna ask some questions. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think too, John, after talking with the maintenance and operations supervisor manager, he had kind of made a passing comment in a conversation about how they're going to revamp the Adopt a Road program. So I don't know what that necessarily means. I think they're trying to just take another look and see which groups do have sections of the road and if they are actually doing any pickups, and maybe if there's a group that's not really active anymore, then offering that up for another group or adding more segments or taking more segments away. I think there's some reevaluation of the program at the county, so it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens with that, and if there's any new or different guidance that they have for us coming up, because we only do twice a year, and I know they like to have groups do it 4 times a year. um
right, and
and
yeah,
I
and yeah, there's the
and
whole
I
safety issue where
yeah.
they're, because we're sending people out unmonitored,
Hmm.
and they don't like that. And so,
Yeah.
maybe we'll be completely out of compliance. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
more to come. Well,
okay.
thank you once again, John, for
Oh, thank you,
organizing that.
Angela. Thank you, Larry.
John, I'm gonna reach out to you if you wouldn't mind. I'd like to familiarize myself with what the county is doing on this one, and then I'd like to be able to be helpful and see if I can do this because it's like if corporations are one thing, but when it's a community association, at the same time we want to empower people to be able to help their own communities and be
Well,
able
yeah,
to do
yeah.
yeah.
It's very difficult when they want you to take these very, very heavy signs and
Yeah,
move them along every 20 feet
sure.
and keep a group of 12 people. Well, you can't keep a group of 12 people busy, for 5 miles. 'cause that keeps them all day. And so when we shotgun people out, we give them an hour, or 2 hours or whatever it is, and they accept that really well. But yeah, so it's the county has this safety compliance too that we have to deal with. So yeah, we're on the edge of yeah.
I get that, but also at the same time, I think that it's not unreasonable, especially if people want to be helpful and,
Yeah.
are doing this, then, we should find the ways to navigate that. So, okay,
Okay.
I'll do some digging and I'll come back and let you all know what I learn.
Sounds good. Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Another thing to consider too, John, would be, the county has that new handy Vector truck with the little suction arm. I can't remember what they named it. It was a naming contest and everything. Um, I think if we could potentially call and have them request, I know you can call and request to have specific segments targeted with that particular service. So if it's a stretch of Waller Road is particularly bad and we haven't been able to get to it for the whole year, then maybe we could call them and have them focus with their truck to be able to go through that to kind of help supplement what we're doing.
Oh,
Might be
well, that's cool. That's cool. I have no
another
idea
option.
what that is, but that sounds like an excellent
Okay.
idea. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look more into that. I think I remember seeing there was some Facebook chatter about a segment in Midland that somebody had called about, and a week later, the road crew was out there using the machine, and they were cleaning it up, and that's kind of how they get shotgunned out when they get calls and requests. So it might be something worth having in our back pocket if we need it. So,
Yeah.
That would be awesome along Vickery Avenue as well.
oh gosh, yeah, because it's not safe to pick up litter on Vickery.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, the ditches and all
And it's
that. No.
terrible.
Yeah.
And even on Waller Road today, it was backed up all the way from 512 to past, well, by 96.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
an accident. There was multiple
Yeah.
accidents,
It
yeah.
was just awful. Yeah.
I'd
Okay.
just like to add something as far as litter pickup is concerned. As far as Orange Gate is concerned, I have been picking up litter, especially on 84th between 46th and 50th, and it takes me an hour just to go a football field on the south side of the street, and and I need to contact my contact person with the Parks Department. Uh, it's the litter there is getting pretty bad, and not only that, from what I am picking up a lot of beer cans that are tossed into the bushes. So I know that during the night, when nobody's supposed to be parking there from 10 p.m. till 5 a.m., they're parked there at night drinking beer and they're just throwing their cans. And since Brian is on the line here, um, the sheriff's department really needs to come by a couple of times during the night and move these people on that are parked illegally around Orange Gate Park at nighttime between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. And I will also contact, maybe Brian, if you could help with that on your end, and I'll contact tomorrow my Pierce County Parks person, see if I can't I periodically have to remind them to call the sheriff's department, remind them to come by at night and move these people along.
Mhm.
Because it's a park.
Yeah. Larry, also let me reach out to our new Parks Director, Travis Buell,
Okay.
and bring this up with him too, because I think that I'm just trying to think of the best avenues to do this. And I think that it does include the sheriff's department, just how I think that the Parks Department needs to know also, and then, be able to flag that for the sheriff's department too. So yeah, we can work several different angles on this one and see which directions bear the most fruit. So you do that and I'll reach out on my end.
Okay. And there is one more issue that I need to bring up. Since we have a new parks director and you're going to contact, we still have the issue of male on male sex going on in the park off of 84th on the north side of the street. So it'd be in the southern part of the north 40 acres. Because I go walking in those trails and I'm finding condoms and tissues and people's clothing rather frequently still. Uh, I can even tell you what times of day they probably engaged in that. There's a noon crowd and then there's an after work crowd.
That's funny.
Everybody I meet is very nice. I've never felt threatened, but and I always ask, hey, have you seen any illegal activities going on? Oh, no, 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 no. How about trash? Do you see any trash back here? Oh, yeah, there's some over there, and
Just you.
they're hey, I don't want to get myself in trouble. I'm just out there by myself.
Don't want you getting hurt or drawn into something that you didn't sign up for. So let me reach out about these. We'll ping this.
Brian,
Mhm.
while we're on the talk of litter, I walk Vickery up and down between 72nd and 48th almost every day. And the litter around the former Faith Dairy, now owned by the tribe for cultural events and whatnot, is just full of trash and alcohol bottles. And it's just, it's not a pleasant sight. Is there any way to engage local cleanup efforts in that area on a regular basis? Is there a nice way to bring that up with somebody that you might know that we don't know? We're not really supposed to liaise with the tribe. We're non-entities in their viewpoint. So I'm not quite sure how to go about it other than to pick your brain for ideas.
Give me a week to think about this one, and then
Okay.
I'll let you know what I'm thinking, and then we'll go about that. So this is what was the dairy's name again?
It was the former Faith Dairy site.
Oh yeah, okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah. As Jen said, the tribe is not responsive to us at all, and they really don't care about our opinion at all. And
Well, a little caveat.
Rightfully so for in their viewpoint. But yeah.
Just a little information on that. We have made several attempts to set up a relationship with the tribe. Judging from Marty Campbell's response, they only really want to talk to governmental agencies like the Pierce County Council or Tacoma, Fife, Puyallup governmental entities, or the federal government. However, they did pass a land use plan that apparently is somewhat similar to ours. Up in our area.
Yeah.
So, according to Dan Hare, they have looked at some of the stuff that they read the stuff we send them. There have been a few conversations between the Sumawalla Community Association and the tribe, but we're just spare change, even though we're directly affected by decisions that are made, especially with Firecracker Alley in particular, and the big signs that have gone up, kind of an irritant in our community as well.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a little bit and I'll think about this. But yeah, no, I think that's not
and from our standpoint, we know that we can't tell the tribe to do anything. We I think do somewhat of a good job suggesting that they go this direction. But
Did my
the bottom line is they do what they want.
did did my predecessor have any luck, or did this come up anytime,
Yeah,
and
it's come up. Oh, am I muted or
oh,
am I good?
yeah, you're
No,
good.
you're good. You're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
You're good.
We've asked him to bring it up before when this has come up, and I don't know that much came of it, as we're still seeing, messes everywhere, especially when there's a big event. But the little alcohol bottles that are just everywhere, and you have to
Mm.
run through them, and I don't know, it's icky and it's trashy looking, and it's our neighborhood too. It's their neighborhood. They should take some more pride in it.
Wasn't there an adopter road along that portion of Vickery? A family
They
adopted
suggested
that.
it about 2 years ago that we have some Vickery neighbors. We tried to encourage that during our annual meeting, and nothing came of it.
Okay.
We might try again.
On the
But
other,
I know.
the other hand, I imagine some of the neighbors might be resentful of an area that was used to be really clean, actually, and that particular area was fairly cleaned up, and now it's a mess, and they might be a little resentful. I think if I don't know that I'm that gracious that if I was living across the street that I'd want to go clean up somebody else's mess all the time.
well, I
I
do
don't
think
know.
that it goes
You're
back
preaching to the
to
choir here.
it could go
Mr.
back
Luke,
to the recommendation that I made earlier. I'll reach out to Pierce County to see the M&O folks to see how maybe we could have them target that specific area with their Vector truck. Because that is how they generally respond, is with calls. So maybe we can have them maybe once a quarter or once every 6 months we could have someone call and ask them to direct their
And when
resources
I
that
did,
way.
yeah, and when I did talk to when I dropped off all the equipment, and I said, the longer this stuff stays there, the more um, we acquire stuff on the edge of my property. He said, well, anytime you want to call, just call the county and they'll come pick it up. And so there is a relief number, so the county will come and pick up stuff.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
This is
Well, maybe that's
79.
the answer.
as Angela would probably point out that, a lot of these systems are complaint based. And so if, once they hear it, it puts it in the system and then something's done rather than, otherwise. So it is kind of like where the most calls gets the attention prioritized. So that and I think, they have the new even I'm still trying to figure out the mobile app and stuff to report issues and things. So, but yeah, I think that right for the moment, yes, if we see things like that, just call it in, or report it, and then I'll start we'll start digging at the same time. So
Okay.
Maybe the tribe could adopt that section.
So what's next? Okay, we had like 30 minutes and I took no notes. So what's next on the
Well,
agenda?
just the last thing to mention on that, we should hire an Italian actor to stand there looking like he's crying, like they did back in the 80s, right? All right, so are we moving on to the next one?
I was just going to say, I wanted to make sure that for the record, it was noted that Jen Bosworth was in attendance of the meeting. I wanted to make sure we had that. And then, yes, so the next agenda item is 5B, and that would be kind of the ongoing discussion of our board member email addresses and the details around that. And I pegged you for that, Gabe.
Okay, I haven't seen the actual any sort of budget, anything going on about that. However, we were able to get the tool installed on our website and get it done. I know that Sandy, did a lot of legwork for the physical mail out stuff, which was great. I appreciate that. And I guess you would have the total for that, right?
what it cost us.
Yeah.
I turned those receipts in at the last meeting. It was around, I think around 200, 250.
And if we decide to do it again next year just to try to capture more people that might not have gotten it this year,
That was for the mail out. What's that for again?
it was a postcard mail out, alerting
Postcard.
people
Okay.
to know that we're doing it digital and to go to our website
Right.
for the
Okay.
digital.
And I didn't, you know what? I didn't even remember getting one.
Yeah, I got two. I got one for me and one for the prior owner that we bought it from.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. There we go.
The
Here we
postage
go.
was the
Look at
majority of
this.
the cost.
We'll get the kitty.
I'd like to remind everybody that we need to search around for two alternates to go
Or we're
to
moving
join
on
our
from this,
board.
Larry.
Hold on. We're
Wait,
not,
yeah,
not done yet. Time out. Hold on. We're still on
Gabe,
5B.
did Russell reach out to you? Because he said he would
About
about the whole email address and banking and all of
Yeah,
that
he
so that
said he
we
was
can
going
get
to
this
get
done.
because the holdup was we needed some sort of card that we could put down, and obviously
Yeah.
no one of us is going to put down a personal. He said he had applied for one. He didn't say he got it yet.
Okay.
He said it's in the works.
Okay. But
So
that
once
was done. Those
that's
steps were done because I did
yeah
my part of contacting Russell and he was in explaining the situation and he was supposed to connect with you.
yeah, he said that he was waiting for that to arrive. I don't
All right.
know. He didn't give me a timeline exactly when that was going to happen though. Yeah, but it was
Okay.
applied for. Once that's
He's
done, we have a place to
very,
put it
very
on there.
responsive. Sorry, we overlapped. He's very, very responsive. If you contact him and ask the status of things, he's responsive when it comes from us. He always answers. He's really timely about it. He gets things done. But if you leave it on him to get back to you, not so much.
Okay, I'll chase after him. Yeah, no worries.
Mm-hmm.
And so once that's done, then I can start the account. We can start that mailbox stuff going because we did decide that we're going
Awesome.
to do this, right? I do recall
No, we haven't decided
We
we
anything.
haven't
did.
decided yet. Okay.
No, I thought we did.
Was
I
it one of
mean,
the ones that
John
John
can
was
go back and
there?
look in his notes, but
Or he has
I
to
was
watch, it's
fairly
in one of the
certain.
meetings, he has to watch back over again.
Yeah.
Just a pro tip, just up the speed to like 1.5 times to watch.
Did we, so, okay, just keep me from walking back through everything. What did we decide on the website? What did we decide?
It was on the email addresses. We decided to move forward with that, but we needed the funding, which was one of the reasons we redid the newsletter in the way that we did to cut costs so that we could pursue the email addresses.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get back to that. Okay. Perfect.
So I'll email him after the meeting just to see if we can't get that moved along. And that'd be it for me.
Did
Thanks,
Sandy
Gabe.
get her reimbursement check?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, Russell said it was in the mail. So, okay. Item 5C. I know Sheila's pegged for that. I don't know that there's any updates, but we could potentially defer that till next month as well.
As soon as I'm on summer vacation, I will get together. I'll see what Brian's schedule looks like and our councilman Brian and Sheila and I, and we'll go out and revisit. We did this once about 2 years ago, and I need to revisit it with our council person, and then we'll go over. I just need a memory rehash about that whole thing. And then Sheila will have her biologist notes and whatnot, and then we can bring it back and make a plan.
Yeah, I think in the April meeting it was discussed about doing a walking tour with Councilmember Yambe.
It was.
Okay. All right. Agenda item number 6, any news or announcements other than what topics we've already talked about? I know, Larry, you'd mentioned alternates. And we'd mentioned that in our we mentioned that at our annual meeting, I think, and we should probably put another call out on our Facebook group too. Might be good,
Pretty good.
good opportunity to do that again. I can write myself a note to do that.
Be
Any
nice if
other-
we could get some representation on the east side of Canyon, between Canyon and Woodland, because once Lisa left, that's been sort of a vacant area.
Yeah.
Her and Bob, yeah.
And Bob. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're
One of the
heavily
ladies-
concentrated on Waller. Yeah.
One of the ladies that attended the meeting in person a couple months ago regarding the Puyallup School Board bond seemed like she might be interested, but I can't recall her name.
Yeah, that was
Ellen.
Ellen.
Aronson.
Yeah.
And she's
gonna
running
run
for school board.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes elected people or potential elected people want to have some fake involvement, so you got to be careful. Yeah. So I volunteered for this or I volunteered for that. Yeah. So you got to be careful on whether they're actually real or yeah. So
I was thinking more that she wasn't going to have time versus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Jen, you can ping my old assistant Lisa Trahan. She's still lives in the area, and she's probably has some more time on her hand. She's on the
That
mid-count.
crossed my mind, but I didn't know how to get a hold of her without her
here.
official county email.
Oh, she won't mind if I pass on her phone number. I'll pass on her phone number to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
No, and she's on the mid-county advisory, and she definitely wants to be involved and active. And after she attended a couple of the meetings, sit downs with you all, she was like, oh, I should totally get involved. So I'm gonna. I think she'd be good if you guys want that. So I'll give you your number.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
You say old assistant? Has she moved on?
Yeah, she went back. She went back to PLU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but she and I are still friends, and we know we're trying. She's trying to be as supportive as possible. I think it was just a challenging role, and I think the adjustment was a lot. So, but yeah, she's still around and she's still active and wants to be helpful. So, yeah.
Who is your current assistant?
Great. Kimberly Lilly. She was Senator Steve Conway's legislative assistant for 22 years.
Okay.
So she has long time state level experience and a little bit, of dealing with a lot of Tacoma and local government. So and her office helped swing some state funds to the farm. So it's all, there's a lot of familiarity with the area and projects. So it's a quick baton pass. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm very
Yeah.
fortunate
Yeah,
that I have very good people.
I'd just like to add that the farm people said that Senator Conway was a major driving force to get the funds from the state to build the new building there.
So I want to thank Brian for spending all this much time. Yeah, we don't often see somebody taking this much time to hang out with us. So I want to say thank you very much.
You all should know that, ever since, the first board meeting I attended, you're all growing on me very, very quickly, and I want to be as helpful as I can. And I feel like, if you want me to start paying dues, I may not live in the area, but I feel like, it's you make the service very enjoyable, and I want to be a help. And so I really am mean it when I say, and I don't say it to everybody, that I do really appreciate this group, and I want to be as helpful as I can. So
Yeah.
this does not feel like work. It feels like being in the neighborhood and being helpful. So yeah.
Well, thank you.
That's nice of you. Thank you.
Any other news or announcements before we adjourn?
Oh, I have one. So Chair Hitchin of the County Council from District 6 and myself are doing a it's a budget town hall, and it is on June 11th, Wednesday, at 6:30 p.m. This is not my in district, that's end of the month, but this is June 11th, 6:30 p.m. and it's going to be at Ford Middle School. And it we're going to basically a listening session about community priorities for the upcoming budget. And so, feel free to bring the family and tell the neighbors and just, come. And so it's, 6:30, June 11th at Ford Middle School. And it's a Wednesday.
Okay, that'd be
Mhm.
a week from tomorrow.
And then the in-district council meeting is on Monday, June 30th, and that's at the Franklin Pierce High School Performing Arts Center. So those are two upcoming events in our community. Yeah.
That's the District 5 in district.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know if the budget listening session is that in the gymnasium or is that in the? Do you know where that's at? The invite on Facebook didn't say specifically, but I'm assuming when we show up, there'll be a sign that points us to the right building.
No, we'll have signs.
Okay.
Definitely have signs because I will need to know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I think it's a place that larger crowd can come, so I assume it's we'll have signs posted.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order? Okay.
I move to adjourn.
Okay.
I second it.
Second, so moved and seconded to adjourn. Before we adjourn, just a reminder, the next board meeting is Tuesday, July 8th, and it will be via Zoom.
So, a quick question. Do we normally skip August? Is that? Nope. We don't skip August? Okay.
Although I'll be out of town that day, so Angela, if you wanted to
August
run
5th.
August.
I will be around, yeah, so I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
I just need to make a note.
Yeah.
So is it July or in person, not Zoom?
I was just wondering that.
Oh, you guys,
might
it
be.
is. July is in person. I'm sorry.
It is in
July
person.
January,
in
That's my
April.
Is
fault.
in person.
Yeah,
Okay.
January, April, June, July, and October.
It was on the agenda and I just left it. I didn't change it. Sorry. I even have a
No,
note.
it's
I
my
have a
fault,
note.
Angela. I should have changed it.
But my note right here says January, April, May, July, October in
You're thrown
person.
off. Last month we were in person too. You're thrown off. That's all.
I know. Sorry. Okay. All right. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning? It's
Aye.
unanimous. Anyone would like to stay on and continue to meet? All right. The ayes
Yeah,
have it.
I'll be here all night.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
See you in July then.
Do I hear a
We're
meeting
off
adjourned?
Or sooner.
Okay.